200 EMA. What ended up happening was when I woke up this morning, we had gotten filled, right? And my entry was from at the time at the H4 EMA, it was 2% away. So even though yeah, this is a swing play, like, but this was not the entry I wanted to have. I wanted to have like an entry like at least like this close away from the H4 200. But it's okay because I mean I ended up kind of around here for very small loss. Either I wait for a structure break, then I enter, or we get the H4 200 EMA, and then I'll probably pull the trigger lower here. Right now, no structure break yet. We need to see this H1 close above this high here. And oh, screen is stuck. Okay, let me just stop. Try again. Can you see it now? Can you see my screen now or no? Okay, okay, cool. Perfect. If you can't see it, just leave and rejoin. So yeah, like I was saying, either we get an entry closer to H4 200 EMA, or we wait for the H1 structure break, then I enter. Um, because like I said, I didn't want to get filled today. I didn't expect us to, and like our entry was nowhere near the H4 200 EMA. I mean, I was gonna play out even though we got filled, but if I'm being honest, the way Bitcoin's looking, let me scroll up just a little bit. It's not looking the greatest. Like if so, this was the plan that I had from yesterday, right? No, sorry, from this morning before New York Open. If we were to go for a move for a Monday high, that like I would short that. So that would be like around the 786 now from this low that we oh sorry this high that we created. Is that low? Um, I don't know if we get that, to be honest. Like it's possible, right? It would line up. I think if it would line up with the H1 200 EMA, that would be, I think, a really good play, and I probably would take that full size. Um, but we'll see. Like, if we lose Monday low, I may look for a short trigger to play to continuation lower. Like there are POIs lower, by the way, quite a few. We have like value area low here, which if I extend it, it would probably be a little bit higher, but it's the same thing, right? We have the 618 from here, from like literally that bottom here, from the 60k retest, and a few imbalances here, but like there are like POIs lower, and of course I want to see where this wick high swept. Uh, Hold on, I'll show you in the 4 hour. Like in terms of structure, mm, like a clean play if we're going to go for 74k, right? Would be like a H4 SFP of this low. Like I think that would be clean in like it would be clean in hindsight if it were to play out, right? So we SFP this high, see like a buy stepping in, and then if we get that move to 74k, like it would be very obvious in hindsight seeing that play out. So that is a play I'm watching, but of course we have to keep in mind, right? We are still in a downtrend. Um, Let me just turn off clean chart, right? We are still in a downtrend. I'd say for this whole move to get reverted to an uptrend, uh, for there to be a structure break, it would probably be one of two highs, either like lower time frame. I'd say it's this high which we've swept here. Oh Jesus! Wait, let me try and find this crowded chart. Yeah, this one. I would say, if I'm being honest, like H4 would probably be either this high or this high here, but we're quite far away from it, right? Obviously. Um, this was the this price action here was. I don't think this is gonna play out like candle for candle, but like I basically drew what's the tool called? I completely forgot, but I just copied. It was like ghost pattern or something. I copied this to here. I could genuinely see something, not candle for candle exactly the same, but something similar, right? So the idea is we just create a range here for the time being between 60 and 80k, 83, and the best risk to reward plays are like a range extremities. So right now we're diddling in the middle, right? We could go up, we could go down, right? The best plays are at range low extremities and range high extremities. So I've got PIs marked out higher and lower that I will play. I'm just hoping, right? If like I don't think the bottom's in at all, but I'm hoping that we do get a little bit higher so we can get positioned in a swing short, right? So by the way, I don't expect 83k to get hit tomorrow or this week or this month. This is very, I expect us to range for quite a bit, like between like 80 and 60k for quite a while, and then I expect like that AMD setup to play out. So similarly to back here, I think everyone would get bullish at 83k or 82. Everyone would be like, oh my god, we're going higher, bottoms in, this and that. But if we look at it from a weekly perspective, right, no bottom is ever made by just a capitulation candle in itself. Like I mean, show me one weekly candle where there was, I mean, there is none, right? If you look, every like local bottom or high was made with was fueled by a weekly SFP. So even if we do go back to the lows, um, like there may be a weekly S&P setup there, but I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting more so we take out this yen carry trade low at 49. Um, if I go to my other higher time frame chart, the spot chart, uh, hold on, let me delete this for now. Yeah, like max pain I can see is like 39, if I'm being honest. Like every other cycle, we bombed around 786, right? So, like, I'm still bearish, high time frame. And does that mean like I won't attempt any long setups for, until we get 39 or 40? Definitely not. I think there'll definitely be some nice intro moves to the upside, right? But for now, I am like I would prefer to see a move lower to like 64k, and then we may like if we get some long triggers here, I'd be looking for longs. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts right now on Bitcoin. We're kind of diddling in the middle. It's a bit risky. Just ranging basically, right? Um, I'm in the short, but it's like low conviction. I didn't want to put it in the channel. If I'm being honest, like I could see it stopping break even, but then if it does, like I just attempt again at Monday high, and that would be the setup I would alert most likely. So yeah, for now, just sitting on my hands. I think there are better setups on other coins like Sol. I think Sol. If you look at Sol, right, yesterday for example, if we look here at 2 p.m. UTC, Sol made a high. If we go to Bitcoin, Bitcoin made a lower low here. So in terms of like recent price action, Sol has looked um, a lot stronger. Like it showed relative strength. So maybe there's a long here around Monday low. Maybe it really depends, honestly. I do still want to see, ideally, this low here at 67.2k taken out. Um, So yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's not many, there's not a lot of setups here right now. I am favoring this one though, H1 200 EMA. If it comes closer to Monday high, and we end up like doing something like this, maybe we grind up, tag it, and then show like some bearish structure, and then we see like on the order flow side, like Binance and Coinbase, selling the stack. That would definitely be like a cherry on top. If we're looking for short triggers, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts right now. Um, this Soul setup is really conditional. Like I would have to see like a sweep, and then like on top of that, like I would want to see on the lower time frame, like maybe 15-minute like breaker structure. So usually I like a lot of steps that I've given before I've taken, and but they've been counter trend. So like I've been count like they've not I've been get playing against the trend, right? So I've left limits like try and snipe where I think the rejection would happen. But a lot of the high probability setups, even though they might not be as great a risk to reward because your actual invalidation will be higher, like wider, um, they are higher probability for that reason, right? Because you are playing with the trend. When you're playing with limits and you're like expecting, okay, I think a rejection will happen here, your invalidation is going to be a lot tighter, right? But your entry could be either ran through or it could be like near the lows or highs, right? So I think a combination of both is good. Um, but I would say like in very hard trending environments, oh, 1 second. In very like trending environments, it's very hard to set limits. Um, I mean, because this was basically, I'll show you what the price action was in the start of this month. It was basically this, but well, reverse, right? Like we were getting like maybe 382 retests. Like it was going nowhere near the point 0.5 or the 618 fib. Um, so that was a bit harder to catch shorts for me at least. And then also what I've noticed is during Asia, uh, for some fucking reason they like to they're at like I remember last year like a lot of the clean setups would be in London, right? Like Asia would be volatile, but London would provide setups as well. And nowadays, London's doing fuck all, and Asia's providing a lot of setups. So I might have to change my sleep schedule according to that. Mm, I mean, I don't mind staying up a couple hours later if it means, bagging a couple more R every month, right? Anyways, yeah, those are my thoughts on Sol. Higher time frame. This is going lower. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm not sure if we get this, but I mean, it would be it would be clean if we do. So I think this would align somewhat. It might not align perfectly, but I may even take this slightly lower as well. It depends where Bitcoin is at, right? But somewhere near like the value area, like the previous value area low, I think that'd be really clean. Um, Sol's like a structure break is this high here, the daily. Wait, no, it's this right above that. So what would that be? 128.3, yeah. So for Sol to become structurally bullish again, it's got quite a ways to go, right? The weekly structure break is all the way up. Fuck knows where. What was that? 49. Like I mean, Jesus. We for Sol to break weekly structure, would need to close the weekly candle back above here, which at this point in the cycle, right now, it's just very unlikely. I think we see more downside before we go anywhere near back above that, that 150 high. So if we do get a move um, anywhere like between, I'd say 120, I'd say 124 to like 115, I'd be looking for short triggers in there. So yeah, these longs here that I've got here, this was meant to be spot, right? I'm now, I think, the soul that I had ended up mini buying here, I ended up selling quite a bit of it around break even. If I'd held, I think I would have been up like 6%, per my average, but uh, I don't know. So it's not really something I want to hold right now. I was expecting maybe like, I don't know. I could see, if I'm being completely honest, I can see $40. So around the time UCD dominance sweeps this high here, the one we made in 2022, the June one, I believe this November one was FTX, but I mean, anywhere around in this area, you want to be looking for a spot. If I'm being honest, even like you could argue right now, you could be looking for spot plays, but I just think we do range here for a bit before making a new leg higher. So it's up to you whether you want to buy like spot, like closer to 8.55%. So yeah, maybe what's also possible, like similarly to back here where we made this bull flag, we could see the similar thing happening here where like we go here, just chop around, something like this, and that would be like eventually going down there, like something like that would be clean. um you know what I mean, right? Like not exactly the same price action here, but something similar to where we could basically look for short triggers closer to this end of UCD dominance, which would be like 7% ish, something like that. 7% towards 6.3, somewhere in this region. Um, like if we look here on the weekly, I've basically these weekly boxes here are demand zones or supply zones as well, or order blocks. It just doesn't really matter what you call them. They're just areas where like price is likely to reject from, right? So we've tapped this weekly up here, which we made all the way in December 2022. So it made sense why we saw a bit of relief, but it didn't really truly respect it. We did wick through it. So but I like structurally speaking, yeah, sure. We SFP'd as high, so that's why pretty massive wick here. I mean, the thing is here, right? If we do something similar to back here, where we had a SFP, small SFP of that high, and then we rejected and came back down and like tagged like a lower high here on well, no, it was a higher high on Bitcoin, lower high on here. We could do the same thing here, where like could come down, bounce back up, everyone would get bearish again. We bounce back, liquidate more shorts down here, then we finally make a move to those highs there. But to be honest, we'd probably range for a bit longer than I'd say we wouldn't be. I'd say by the time this high gets hit, it will probably be by September. I don't think. I think we front run the October classic swing low. Sorry, um, the 4 year cycle. I don't know why it took me so long to remember. Everyone waiting for October to buy. I think there's a good chance they get front ran for many reasons, but I covered that in my channel. But yeah, technically speaking, on the lower time frame, to be honest, USD dominance on the lower time frame can sort of get a bit noisy because the wicks on these won't be the same as the wicks on like the daily. So for example, this wick here, it might be the same. Yeah, 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 it does change. Like, I mean, it doesn't change by much, but there is like a difference. So I don't look at the lower time frame wicks as much. I just usually either 4 hour or what the hold on, either 4 hour, 12 hour, or daily and weekly, obviously. So yeah, I think anywhere below, if we get anywhere close to here, this blue line, 7% basically, or down here as well, 6.5. Those would be places where I would expect like pretty strong rejections. Um, so yeah, right now we're sitting on like a 618 from no sorry rejected from the golden pocket, and now we're seeing like small rise on USD dominance. If we do get that pullback I was talking about where we sweep Monday high and whack the H1 EMA 200, that would be, a very, like I said, a very clean play and very obvious in hindsight. Um, that'd be like a setup I'd 100% take. And I bet you it would be a setup that plays out in Asia too. So, yeah. Um, One coin that I was looking at earlier was Mon, because I mean just look at this. I was planning to short here at the H4 200 EMA, but now it's like something must have came out, some news, because this was looking pretty cooked structurally wise. What do you think, Sash? Are you gonna long this or short this? Would you long this or short this? I've not shorted yet, but like back here, I mean, saw a nice rejection. I don't know. I would say daily wise, like it has to for it to flip bullish again. It has to close above here. Just came back home. No idea what is happening here right now. Bro, Mon, I wouldn't even say look. I'd say don't look at this chart. It's a shitcoin. But I just saw it was I saw some news came out and it's like sending. I almost do want to short it, but it's risky. This is definitely not one I would call out for sure. But yeah, I want to look at some other alts. BNB. This aligns like really nicely with Bitcoin chart as well. If we do get it, I mean, in terms of weekly gaps, we've got this massive one here. But if we want to be like slightly more specific of where to short, like I'd say 50% of this gap here, which literally lines up right now perfectly with the 618. So I thought that like if we were to get that and I didn't take it and it were to play out, I'd be really annoyed with myself. So it is something I'm watching. Locally, I've been trying to see if like BNB would be cleaner on the lower time frame to trade, but I mean not really. It's nothing really special. Um, I wouldn't say it's got any better or worse price action than like I don't know, Solana or Ethereum. Um, it is a CZ, like it is a CZ's coin, right? So I don't exactly expect this to go to zero, but would I be surprised if like I see, a bounce at 500 or at like closer to 400? Definitely not. I think that's where Binance would heavily buy between 500 and 400. One of these lows here, like these equal lows here, which haven't been swept, or this low from the carry trade from the 2024. Not touching shitcoins for now. Just Bitcoin, gold, and some majors. You know, gold is moving like a shitcoin now too. So man, gold was. Look at this chart. Looks like CZ rugged it. It does look good. Does look does look good. Putting in a low high. Back above H1 and H4 EMAs. I mean, well, I don't know what happened there. Let's delete that. The way, yeah, that looks good. Um, do I see this going to 6,000? Honestly, I actually do. It's just hard to get positioned. Let me see. In terms of like, I mean, jeez, this week was insane. But I mean, it is a daily SFP. That's like one of the strongest signals. You don't get much. You don't get a lot of SFPs on a chart like this, where it's essentially up only for quite a while. And this one was pretty strong. Um, but I mean, it gave what's it called, a misleading close here, because it closed there but then shot up there the next candle, right? I would say for honestly for gold, uh, it depends. If it makes a new high, I'd pull a fib from this low. Oh, I'd pull a fib like there and try like snipe an entry. But we'll see. It needs to make a new high here locally. Um, Zcash. I'm still waiting for this as well. Most of these setups are pretty much all very similar in terms of like if they do give a decent enough bounce, and I think the people like who shorted on the way down on that Bitcoin crash probably most likely did short a lot of alts as well. If you go on Hyperliquid, I forgot the website, but you can track um, who's long on who's short on what. And I can bet you right now, like if we even see a small pump in the market, there's gonna be so many short liquidations, especially on Hyperliquid. Um, I'm pretty sure that there are like Hyperliquid vaults, which are basically like copy trading vaults, and like most of most of these vaults, a lot of these vaults are like just short alts. So like a little pump in the market, like maybe Bitcoin going up like 5 or 7%, and alts moving like 10 to 15%, I would like either liquidate people or just round like make everyone round trip who is short on alts. So it really wouldn't take that much, and that would be the short squeeze I would wanna start looking to short, right? So BNB looking to swing short that ZEC as well. Lit. It's not this shitcoin hasn't given me what I want yet. I wanted a H4 close above 1.753. Could you imagine, Sash, I shorted the SFP of that high? I don't even want I don't even want to check how much RR that was, but I mean, I don't know. I don't usually. It would have been clean. It would have definitely been clean, but I mean, that's hindsight speaking, right? For now, I could definitely see this making a new low. It's not. I mean, compare it to like everything else in the market. Uh, it's not the worst looking chart on like the H4, but on the daily, I mean, this could just make another leg lower like at any second, pretty much. Um, fundamental, fundamentally wise, I don't think unless Lit is planning anything, unless Lighter is planning anything like behind the scenes, I don't see this project doing uh, for now just anything crazy. Not like before. At least before there was some sort of hype around here, so that's why I was attempting longs. But that sort of seemed to die off, right? Um, yeah. Also, River is one of them ones like River's one of these coins that Muro would love to trade. Yeah, like these coins, like they sort of form like a somewhat like of a accumulation, like almost sideways, not quite, but I guess on the on the high time frame, it is, it looks like accumulation, and then you get these big moves. So Muro's really good at positioning himself for that, right? I'm not. I still need to get better at these like lower cap shitcoin plays. I think Axo as well was pretty good catching them. Um, but yeah, I just noticed this was a coin that I was planning to short if we got like a retest up here, but that never happened. Um, if we if we were to for whatever reason, I mean, I really high at this point I don't see it going up to 57, but if it does, like like why not? Like I'd attempt something here. Maybe like stops up here, but like I mean, I would want a quick rejection, you know. If it just blasts through, I probably would get out and then try again if it breaks structure. So if we get this, that would be so clean. I remember doing a similar thing to Doge. When there was a point there when memes had basically done this and died, and then we got like some like the craziest euphoria, and that's when I shorted a couple memes. That was way back in. That was that was before what? It was it was the pump from the November elections. Sorry, I was getting confused with last year's May pump that we saw, April May. But I mean that was just brutal for alts. It was just a lower high across the board for many of them. Um, yeah, Zek I've already covered. GPP is interesting. Um, I've been watching this and big backtesting as well. I might post some plays. I mean, it respects like demand zones well, like, but obviously I still need to backtest like over a year's worth of price action, see if I would actually have an edge on this. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna focus too much on it just right now. Um, Ethereum, there was arguably a short around here. Uh, let me see. Mm, yeah, for ETH, I mean, it looks similar to Sol, where like we'd have to like go back all the way up here to break daily structure, right? Um, if we even get anywhere near here, I probably would look to short. Actually, no, I'd pull the fib from that high. I'd pull the fib from that high because that is the weekly high here. Um, although I would expect also a rejection from the fib pulled from the daily MSP as well. But if we get something like this, and this would be like a swing play as well, like so swing limit at like I'd say 2.7k, somewhere around there ish. Stops above that daily MSP, and then we target probably April lows last year. Yeah, I'm pretty confident if Bitcoin goes to 40, this ends up tagging at some point. So yeah, that's also a swing I'm looking to play out as well. In terms of lower time frame, I'm not seeing. Actually, we did sweep that low. In order for that to be bullish M30 structure. Uh, Other than that, yeah, maybe something like this, like that way. So like for example, if it breaks out of here, right? Maybe consolidates. Um, I look to enter on a pullback somewhere. Oh wait, something like this. Maybe like on the point 0.5 fib or something like that. Either either I enter maybe this wouldn't be a high conviction trade, but like a lower time frame SFP or like a retest of the point 0.5 or 618, somewhere around that area maybe. But only if this closes the 30-minute above. Um, Maybe I look to target like, I don't know, somewhere, maybe this high here, because like we haven't retested that for a while. Yeah, I could see that, and that was too much high hopes for that. Um, do you guys have any any coins you want me to chart? Let me know. Mm-mm-mm. Nope. Okay. Well, it's almost 5 p.m. here. I think someone's gonna stream after me, so I'll probably hop off now. If you guys got any questions, and yeah, I'll be active from today till like probably Asia. Most likely, I'll be staying up, seeing if we can catch any plays. But yeah, I'll share if anything good comes up. Thanks guys for coming. Hope you have a great day and peace out.